this event. Today, the fight has gained even more importance for Australian boxing and for Australian sport, and we are poised for this all-Aussie super fight to lead us out of a tremendously challenging period in 2020. This is the fight that starts a nation, and boxing is back. Today, I'm pleased to officially announce that Jeff Horn and Tszyu will do battle here in Townsville on Wednesday, the 26th of August. There will be a capacity of 16,000 at this venue, and tickets are available today from 3 p.m. via Ticketmaster. Those tickets do start at just $29. The event will be broadcast live on Main Event Television, and you can order the events at mainevent.com.au. The undercard will be announced shortly, but it will feature exciting super featherweight Liam Wilson and also Kiwi star David Light. And we have scheduled the main bout to take place at an earlier time of 9:30 p.m. local time. Now I'm going to ask a number of the speakers to the lectern to address the audience, and first of those is the member for Townsville, Scott Stewart.
Well, thanks, Ben, and what a great pleasure to be back here today. And I'd firstly like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, the Walgaroog and Bindal people, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and those emerging. And I'd also like to acknowledge Mayor Jenny Hill, also our event promoters Dean Lonergan and Matt Rose, and of course our fighters for this great event, Jeff Horn and Tszyu. So welcome back to North Queensland, gents. It's great to have you here. And I'm here on behalf of Minister Kate Jones, the Minister for State Development, Tourism and Innovation, who obviously couldn't make it today. And we're here to celebrate the fact that this major event is back in Queensland. In fact, it's back in North Queensland. Like these guys know, North Queenslanders, we're fighters. When we get knocked to the ground, whether it's through the floods or whether it's through COVID-19, we come back. So it's great to welcome these fighters back into the place where we fight really hard. And that's right here in this great stadium. And here at this marvellous Queensland Country Bank Stadium, we're welcoming Jeff Horn and Tszyu for their blockbuster fight on the 26th of August in front of 16,000 fans. Based on the approved COVID-19 site-specific plan, seating will be available both in the stands and, of course, on the grass. And we know that Fight Club is back in Townsville. And the first rule about Fight Club in Townsville is that everyone talks about Fight Club in Townsville. And this is going to be a great event. It'll be a huge shot in the arm for the local economy, where we see 16,000 people will come to this great stadium and also spend their money here to support our local recovery back for our local shops and businesses. The tourism and events industries have endured an incredible tough time due to the ongoing impacts of COVID-19, but Queenslanders have done an incredible job flattening the curve and allowing us to reach this point sooner than we had all expected. With the COVID-safe plans in place, we can now see more events and tourism experiences taking place, which means a lot more money going back into our local businesses. Initial projections were that this event would drive around 8,500 visitors into Townsville, generating around about 24,000 bed stays. And we'll see around about $5.5 million back into our economy. Now, we all know that that is absolutely important for us here in the north. With the capacity permitted, we expect to see the event will still drive those results in Queensland more and more. With Queensland borders reopening to most of Queensland last Friday, we expect to see some of our southern neighbours also flocking to see this fight. And why wouldn't they? This is a great place on earth to come and see one of the greatest fight events that we will see in Australia. We're pushing the message out that Queensland is good to go for most Australians, with our interstate campaign launched last week to lure our southern neighbours to Queensland for a winter escape. And when you look at the temperatures in Melbourne, down around 2 and 3 degrees, and our nights here around 17 degrees, why wouldn't you come north? The goal of this campaign is to generate $1 billion in revenue and drive 9 million room stay nights for Queensland. So we're looking to supercharge our tourism industry as part of our recovery. I'd like to thank Dean Lonergan and his team, along with Townsville City Council, for their support to ensure this great event could remain here in North Queensland and help fire up our local economy in this region. So we want to see you all there on August for our boxing's State of Origin. Thank you.
Thank you to Scott. Now, if I could welcome to the lectern the Mayor of Townsville, Jenny Hill.
Thank you, Ben. What can I say? Scott, you've taken all the great lines. But the reality is, gentlemen, welcome to the Rumble on the Reef. Townsville is the perfect city to host this great event. We love our sport in this community. We love our events. And what more beautiful weather than you can have here? Out on the field, open skies, temperature probably around about 23, 24 degrees. It'll be a spectacular event. But with that, this week, can I say to all of you down south who are looking to travel, think about North Queensland and Townsville. This fight is a great indication of the sort of events we wish to bring to this city. And stay for the V8 supercars. It'll be a great week of events. And gentlemen, whoever wins, I can guarantee you a hot lap around our track. So if the fight doesn't get the blood going, I guarantee you the hot lap will. These athletes have indeed used the COVID-19 restrictions as an opportunity to train, and I firmly believe that this will go down as one of the great fights in Australian boxing history. I know I spent some time with Dennis Clancy on Friday, and some of you would know Dennis. He's a well-known trainer here in Townsville. Dennis said to me he's looking very forward to the fight coming here and what it means for many in our community. Boxing is a big part of the Townsville community, a sport that many young men and women now participate in. So to have a fight of this calibre in our city helps promote a sport that's not just about young men anymore, but is also about young ladies. We want the airlines to get on board with our tourism operators to make sure that this event fills our city. We haven't had a case of COVID here since Jesus played fullback for Jerusalem. So it's one of the safest places to come in Australia. Enjoy your time up here, enjoy the weather, and if you're from Victoria, you're not welcome. We want everyone up here, and you Melbournians, please watch the fight on TV, pay for the view, support this great event. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking forward to hosting you all here in Rumble on the Reef in Townsville, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy it as much as we will, supporting both great boxers here for this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the Mayor. So, yeah, to go through some of those details that were mentioned there, it is available via Main Event. Mainevent.com.au is the place to book the fight. Otherwise, if you can be here in Townsville, 16,000 seats available. They'll be on sale via a pre-sale from 3 p.m. this afternoon, then to the general public from 5 p.m. And at boxingpackages.com.au, you can buy ringside seating and corporate packages as well, which takes us along to the co-promoters of this event. And firstly, could I welcome from D&L Events, Dean Lonergan.
I will be nowhere near as entertained, particularly as Jenny Hill, Jesus and Jerusalem. It's hard to get into a boxing match, but well done. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you very much to my co-promoter, Matty Rose. This is the first time we've done an event together. And his company, No Limits, signed Tszyu probably 2 years ago and done an amazing job with the promotion of Tim. And Matt we've got together and we've managed to bring this up here, and we're very, very happy to be here. We'd both like to thank TEQ and the state of Queensland government for the support that we're receiving for this fight that allows us to be here. And of course, Jenny Hill and her council, the Townsville City Council. Without their support, we couldn't be here. So we're very, very appreciative, very happy to be in what will be Jeff Horn's, I think, third stadium fight. Having fights, inside an arena is one thing. Having them in a stadium is quite another. And when we put, 16,000, and who knows, by the time we get to August 26th, we might have upwards of maybe 25,000 in here. If restrictions allow us, it'll make for one hell of a night. Now, this is as the colours would indicate, it's a Queensland versus New South Wales fight. The other side will play that down, but of course we're from Queensland and we love it. I'm a Kiwi and I'll never be an Australian, but I 100% am a Queenslander. So very proud to be here up in Townsville. Jeff Horn will be looking forward to lots of Queensland support. Blue equals blue. So we're looking for a 5th or 6th round knockout, and both Matty and myself, regardless of result either way, we're very confident that Jeff Horn can do it. Of course, their side is the same. We're both going to be pushing very hard for a world title fight after this. And if that was to happen, we'd love to come back to the great city of Townsville and do it right here, which would be something very special. So thank you very much. We appreciate the media turning up, and Matt and myself will be bugging the flying heck out of you over the next 6 weeks to keep talking about this fight. and let's get as many people in the stadium as we possibly can for a great night.
Thank you, Dean. So, yeah, that's one half of the promotion. The co-promoter from No Limit Boxing is Matt Rose.
Thanks, Dean. Look, I guess from our perspective, it's been 4 months of waiting, and to finally come up here and announce today, it's pretty exciting. Walking across, getting dropped off earlier and looking at the stadium, I actually missed it last time, so to be up here now, and it's quite spectacular. So to have a stadium show after, I guess, 12 months of, 3 or 4 fights with Tim to get him to this point. We didn't think we'd be at a stadium this soon, but Tim's excelled, in terms of his ability, and now at a stage where I think a fight with Jeff Horn would see expect of boxing. Thank Jenny and Scott, Townsville City Council, and TEQ for making this happen up here, because I know that to do stadium shows, they're quite expensive, and it takes a lot of work. And I know Dean's team on the ground here have done a lot of that work, and we hope to, over the next 6 weeks, really get behind the event and come up and bring a spectacular event. So when Tim wins, and hopefully we can get that done, we can get the Queenslanders behind us as well, because I know at one stage, 20 odd years ago, his father come up here and fought in front of a stadium show and had, so much support. So we hope to see all those Zoo fans come out to the fight, come Townsville in 6 weeks, and we aim to put on a fantastic event, and we'll see you all there. Thanks.
Thank you to Matt and to Dean. So, yeah, Wednesday, the 26th of August is the date of the event. 6 weeks away from now, and Fight Week will be big here in Townsville as well. A number of events planned, so we look forward to being back here in 6 weeks' time. But we were here 4 months ago to first announce this fight, and since then, well, it's been an interesting period for our boxers and for everyone in Australia. So we'll have a chat to our boxers now, and firstly, he's from Sydney, a 25-year-old with a record of 15 fights, 15 wins and 11 stoppage victories. He's world ranked, and he is Tszyu. Tim, how have you enjoyed the last 4 months or so, and how's training been through this period?
For me, it became obsessive. I became very obsessed with what I do. It was a good time to reflect on things and be able to put things in perspective to where I want to be in life and in my career.
Did you start to visualise some goals off in the future beyond this fight, or were you looking directly at Jeff?
I always look beyond. That's how you're gonna keep chasing your goals and keep chasing yourself. So yeah, I see a lot of things, but especially in this fight, this is a big one, a big opportunity for me. So I'm quite excited. And as I said before, I became obsessed to become better, and I can't wait to show it.
You talk about that obsession. What was an average day like for you during training over the last 4 months?
Nothing in my life matters besides boxing. And when you put that in perspective, that means training 3-4 times a day. I made a little gym in my garage, and I was able to learn things, and I was able to stick in my garage for hours and hours on ends, just trying to perfect my craft. And again, as I said, the word obsessive, I actually became obsessed, and it's a sickness, and I'm going to win.
We were very friendly last time around, but there seems to be a different edge to proceedings here between yourself and Jeff. Is there a little extra motivation, a little bit of extra intent?
No, well, me and Jeff got nothing personal. All it is I'm very competitive, and I want to win. And again, in these couple of months of being at home, it's made me realize that that's all I want in life, and that's to win, and to win in boxing.
Great opportunity for yourself and Jeff to be a part of this massive event, which essentially is the first major boxing event since we all went through what 2020 has brought. Does that give you a little bit of extra excitement, motivation that so many people will be watching, and this is such a big event for so many people around the country?
Nothing excites me more than just the fight. It doesn't matter the occasion anymore. Doesn't matter how big the stadium is. I'm truly motivated in victory, and all I want in my life is victory. So it doesn't matter where it is, who it's against. I intend to do the same thing over and over again.
There were a couple of pictures exchanged around what was meant to be weigh-in day, the 21st of April as it was. You saw what condition Jeff Horn was in. You put up your own picture. What did you make of, what do you think Jeff has been doing during this period?
Again, it's not my life. Jeff can do what he wants to do. It's not my problem. You know, we got two completely separate, different lives. He's got a family. He's got different responsibilities. We've got a complete different life. So he can do what he does, and I'll do what I do.
Who's had the advantage, do you think, out of the break that we've had?
Doesn't matter who's had the advantage. Again, I'm coming for victory, and that's it.
Your promoter, Matt Rose, mentioned that your father did fight here in Townsville. There's an affinity for your family here, even though you're essentially the outsider coming from New South Wales.
Yeah, we do have history here in Townsville. Dad fought here, 20 odd years ago, yeah? And, you know, he did pack out a stadium, and he had plenty of support. And he was a Russian, you know, he was born and bred in Russia, but he got the support from all of Australia. And, you know, I'm blessed to have that same support, not just in New South Wales, but in Queensland and around all of Australia. And I'm sure it's not going to be just New South Wales fans, it's going to be Tszyu fans here in Townsville.
Have you heard from Dad lately? What's he had to say about this fight and the fact that there is a new date?
Haven't really spoken to him yet. Again, I've just been obsessed over becoming better and better, and that's all that's been on my mind.
How do you feel looking out there at this stadium and thinking that in only 6 weeks you'll be walking out there in front of 16 or perhaps more thousand people?
Doesn't bother me. All I think is victory, and that's the only thing on my mind.
And what happens that night, Tim? How does the fight between Jeff Horn and Tszyu
Losing is
happen?
not an option for me. I only win.
Well, there is a very focused Tszyu, and that'll take us to the former WBO welterweight champion of the world, Jeff Horn. Jeff, how have you enjoyed the last 4 months?
Look, the last 4 months have been absolutely great. I've enjoyed the break, had some nice family time, and it's just made me have a view of my career and in the future, and I'm hungry again. Before it probably was a little bit too fast after the last fight, and I had a few cuts and injuries. I've had a bit more time now, more time to recover and get the body in good shape, and I'm ready for this fight.
The poster still has you with a cut above your eye. Do you think it'd be fair to take that away now? Do you expect maybe you've healed up a bit?
Oh, look, I guess the poster didn't lie before, and hopefully it is now, but I won't say I'm not going to get cut in this fight. Hopefully Tim doesn't land a glove on me, but look, in every fight that I've had, I seem to get a cut, so fingers crossed.
There were two schools of thought going into this break, maybe that you'd take it very easy and blow out a bit through the period, or that you'd focus and gain new motivation. Which way's it gone?
Look, I've been training still throughout the break. I know there's been times where people have said I've photoshopped my head on top of my body because of my tan line. I've got no tan on my body, but my neck's tan, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, I've maintained fitness and I've kept it going, and I know that this fight was going to be happening as soon as restrictions were lifted a little bit, and here we are, announcing the fight for only 6 or so weeks away.
I asked Tim about it, but what are your thoughts about the fact that this is the first major boxing event and one of the biggest events that will happen post the events of 2020? Does it give you extra motivation?
Yeah, it does. It's great that we're able to showcase this massive fight so soon. It's great that Queensland have listened to the rules, and that's why we've got very little cases, no cases at the moment. And yeah, so it's great that we can have one New South Welshman come, or maybe a couple of them, just to and we might test them to make sure that they're all right before they come in. But then we'll get rid of them pretty quickly.
Do you think these events and where we're at in the world at the moment add to the events, add to the focus on this event?
Say that again?
Do you think that everything we've been through add to the focus that will be on this event, that there'll be more eyeballs?
Yeah, look, there's hardly any boxing going on around the world at the moment. There's a few shows starting up now, but it's great that we've got such a big event like this that we can showcase so soon with very little live sport that we've had lately.
We were very friendly last time around, 4 months ago. There seems to be a different edge, though, at least from your opponent.
Yeah, look, they're very serious and very cocky in the way that they think that they're going to win this fight nice and easy. But Tim has never fought the opposition that I have. He's got relatively little experience in that manner. And the only reason why this fight is being made is because his last name is Tszyu. His father is an absolute legend. We wouldn't be fighting him if his last name wasn't his dad's name.
And he hasn't fought in a stadium as a main event. He's fought in a stadium, but what advice would you have for him about what that is going to be like?
Look, he's going to be blown away. There's no way that you can't be blown away in a stadium fight. I have every time been like, wow, this is a momentous occasion. It's what does he do with that energy? Does he use it or does it sap away from him? And I've used it every single time, and I plan on doing that a third time. We'll see what Tim can do.
You surprised looking at the betting markets for this fight that you're a massive outsider?
I'm absolutely shocked at the betting markets at the moment. I can't believe with what I've done in the past and for Tim and for what Tim's done, and you compare the two to say that he's definitely, well, that's what they're saying. He's definitely going to win. He's a hot favourite for this fight, and I'm shocked. I kind of want to turn it around and put some money on myself.
What is it that leads you to believe that you should be a favourite for this fight? What is it that you've done?
Look, I've got the ample experience on what Tim's done in his career. I've versed world champions. I've fought Hall of Famers, legends like Manny Pacquiao. I've fought Terence Crawford. I might not have got that victory, but you learn so much from your losses than you do your wins. And I've learned heaps in my career, and I've versed absolutely talented, extremely awesome fighters out there already.
Did you have a chance during this period to have a look back at any of Tim's fights? I know that you commentated a couple of them alongside me, but have you gone back and had a look at what he's done so far?
Look, I don't like watching too many of the opponent's fights. I'll look little snippets here and there, and I'll leave that to mainly the trainers to do that. But look, I'm very confident that we're going to be able to beat Tim, and that's the aim. That's the only goal, is to beat Tim Tszyu.
What about looking back at your own last couple of fights, the pair of fights against Michael Zarafa? What did you see?
Look, the Michael Zarafa fights were tough. He's a tough guy. He's a big boy. I guess I wish him well in middleweight. I guess I'll stay out of that division for now. I think the boys are too big in that one, and he proved that definitely the first time when I took him a little bit lightly. He definitely steamrolled me quite easily, and give him all the credit he deserves. He is a machine, Michael Zarafa, and he's a fitness machine. And yeah, the second time I made good use of that fight and needed to make that comeback, and I needed the win for my career, and that's what I've done. And now on to bigger and better things, and Tim Tszyu's just the next step.
6 weeks away now, but people will be booking tickets that do go on sale today and starting to think about ordering via mainevent.com.au. Why should they be doing that? Why do they need to see this fight?
Look, this fight's going to be an exciting fight. Two varying styles. He's a boxer. I'm a fighter. I like to be able to say I do a little bit of boxing as well. I have got the brains in there, but it's just going to be an exciting fight. There's going to probably be blood. People like blood for some reason, and that's probably definitely going to happen. It's just going to be an absolute war out there, and I guess I kind of can't really say I can't wait, but yeah, I can't wait till it's finished.
And what happens in this fight in terms of the result? How does it end?
Look, it ends only with me picturing my hand getting raised in the air with victory. I know Tim's doing the exact same thing, and good on him, but I feel like I've got the experience to get him out of there.
Okay, so that is Jeff Horn. That was Tim Tszyu, and this is our fight Wednesday, the 26th of August, here at Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. You can get tickets today via Ticketmaster. You can order via mainevent.com.au, and for now we will face off these two fighters for the cameras, and then they'll be available to the media as well. So Jeff and Tim, if you'd like to come around the front, stand in front of your barrier, in front of your banners. We will face off for the cameras. And to confirm, Wednesday the 26th of August is now our official date. You could probably go a step further. Maybe a step further in. There we go. We'll get the boys to face the front. So Wednesday, the 26th of August is the date. Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville is the venue. Main event is the place to watch it if you can't be here. Very much looking forward to bringing you this all-Australian super fight between Jeff Horn and Tszyu. I'm Ben Damon. I'll see you at the fights.